Happy National Silent Movie Day. This is the day where we celebrate the old days of cinema in the beginning, silent movies. Now, before you get crazy, before you say, oh, that's too old, they don't mean anything, they're boring, they're black and white, nobody's talking. You have to remember that back then they were trying to innovate, trying to create this new thing called cinema, pictures that moved, movies, moving pictures. As Francis Ford Coppola said, what we know today in film and movies, the potential of cinema, we know about 60%, and they discovered 40% of that potential back in the silent era. So if you're a filmmaker, an independent filmmaker, a film student, learning films, learning a craft of filmmaking, or even shooting, directing, writing, go back, study the silent films, and I'm telling you, you're going to be amazed. Everything there is done with images. You know you have a good movie when you can turn the sound off and people can watch and enjoy your film just by looking at the images. These are the top 5 movies I recommend for anybody starting off, just looking at silent films. I think these films will keep your attention, will innovate new ideas if you're a filmmaker. First up is Wings, the first Oscar winner for Best Picture, directed by William Wellman, who happened to fly fighter pilot or fighter planes in World War I in France. So this film, Wings, is about fighter pilots in France, and he wanted to make it authentic. So he put cameras into the planes and flew them. And of course, it has some great aerial shots, which Top Gun is presumed to have kind of copied in their 1980 film, the original Top Gun. But William Wellman is just inventive with shots. There's a famous shot of him going through a cafeteria, bar room, through all the people, and you can see all the stories until they get to the main characters. This is a great film. Second film is Metropolis by Fritz Lang. Just to see the scope, the imagination of looking into the future, and this was back in the 1920s. This is inspiration for those that want to build models or just build suits. Almost the woman here looks like C-3PO. Could have been an influence, and I'm sure it was, on Star Wars. I'm going to fly by now because I'm running out of time, but my next one is The Wind with Lillian Gish. This has some great effects, love story, a lot of suspense, a lot of tension. My next one is the German expressionist film, The Last Laugh, about a doorman who loses his position and the consequences that it comes with. And probably my favorite and the most influential, I think, on any kind of filmmaker, Sunrise. Check out these 5 short films, silent films, and I think they're going to be a big influence for any kind of filmmakers and especially cinema lovers.